Hi. Hey, everyone.
We can get started. Hi.
Hi.
Is Team Coco Kart gonna be in the US
No, because of me, I'm not playing doubles at U.S. Open, but it'll happen again. I don't know when. Yeah, it was last minute, but yeah, I had a great time.
Right.
Yeah.
Coco, you're still so young, and yet, as you know, you've been on the tour for a while, and you grow up fast on that scene. I just wondered if you'd reflect on how much you've grown up during that stretch and your maturity.
Yeah, I feel like I've grown a lot and also in some ways still the same. Um, yeah, it feels like a long time. I think sometimes I do have to be reminded of my age because I do want so much to happen like now, now, now. But then I look at some of my competitors and seeing like the success that they're having. And not even late in their careers because they're still very much in early and prime of their careers, but just a lot later than where I am right now. So I try to get reminded of that, but also like I would love to do as much as possible as soon as possible.
in the back first?
Can you talk about the strength of American tennis right now with so many top players? What's fueling it? And also, do you have any like fun, friendly competitions with the men? Who can get more players in the top 10, or who can get to world number one, something like that?
Well, for the men, I feel like the women it hasn't been much of a competition. No offense to them, but now it is kind of. But I don't know. We had like was it 3 or 4 straight slams with American in the finals, so I think we're doing pretty good on our end. They have to catch up, but no. I think it's great to see so much representation of like our country in this sport, and also I think that's like the beautiful thing too about like just being American, like all of us look different and we have like biracial, black, white, all types of representation for girls and guys to look up to in the top 10 or close to the top 10. And I think that's something beautiful about our country, that how diverse it is. And, I hope in this sport that it continues to show. But yeah, it's great for the men too to be in those numbers with us, and hopefully, I mean, I would love to see in my lifetime like a woman and American woman and male win the same slam. That would be great. We got it at U.S. Open; they were both in the final, so hopefully, maybe this U.S. Open, some magic can happen.
18 months ago, you and Novak got to tell Cincinnati we were keeping this tournament.
Yes.
Your impressions when you first stepped on campus today or this week?
Oh yeah, I got here literally like 20 minutes ago for the first time, and I was just like, wow. I saw like the video of just like the overhead outside part, but I had no idea what the players area looked like, and I still haven't even seen the locker room or anything, but just like the entrance is like incredible, and I think it's insane, and all the feedback that I've heard is that it's the best tournament on tour and better than the slams as far as like the facilities and things like that. I haven't gotten around yet. I literally got here at 12:30 and went straight to press. So yeah, but once I get around, I'll have a better answer for that. But as far as like first impression, like it looks incredible, and I'm so excited to just explore more.
Is there something? How's it going?
Hi, nice to see you.
Is there like something that feels different when you get to this time of year
Mhm.
as a top American and you're going to these tournaments? What I mean, GGC this year, but very familiar crowds, and then you have this U.S. Open sort of hanging out there that everybody's pointing towards. Do you feel different energies, different thoughts? Like, how is it different than all the other times?
For me, it feels kind of like, we were playing the little race car game and you have like the nitro button to push. That's what it feels like, that you just want to give it your all, like for this time of the year. Not necessarily only because I'm American, obviously playing in the biggest spot for our sport in the country, but also just like it being the final slam of the year, the final few like big moments. I mean, obviously we have like the Asian swing and things like that, but on the serious, like not serious, but also serious. Obviously, everybody's attention is on U.S. Open, and so it feels like I'm like pushing that nitro button and just leaving it all out there. And this is the part of the season that I feel like not kill myself because I've done well after U.S. Open as well, but that you're just on the court and you're just like, I just want to give it like literally everything. And this is a tournament where if I have to kill myself to win, I'll do it.
Is there a danger at all in like wanting things too much, or like or pushing too hard? And have you talk to people about like breathe?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think there's like a danger in that. I will say though, having to won it in 2023, I feel like puts less pressure on me in a way because I feel like regardless of how my career goes, like I can say I won at home. But I would love to do it again. Obviously, that was like a still a special feeling, and being able to, I don't know, something was so special just being able to be like here in New York and then literally like fly to Florida, be there in like 3 hours and get to celebrate with family compared to the French. So I do think that if I were able to do it again here, I would get that like specialness again.
What does it mean to you? You had your big breakthrough when you played Venus at Wimbledon. Now she's in the same tournament again coming back. Does it mean anything more to you to have her in the same field as you right now?
Yeah, it feels kind of surreal on a standpoint of how amazing she is. When I played her at Wimbledon, I honestly didn't think like I would still see her on tour at 21, like just from an honest standpoint. And so I remember treasuring that moment at Wimbledon, and then like having to draw her again at Australian Open. I was like, okay, this probably would be one of the last like few times. And now that she's playing on tour and also like playing great, like I know there's definitely a high chance that we'll play each other again. And I look forward to it because anytime you can step on the court with a legend is special, regardless of the result or things like that. And something that, you know, I can tell my kids and everything like that. And honestly, like from people who don't watch tennis, maybe before U.S. Open or like honestly the referee incident, people knew me the most by that, and they always like, you're the girl, you're the little girl that beat, you know, like yes. So I think that's for me is gonna be out of like the accomplishments of my career is probably always gonna be like top 3.
I'm writing a piece about Francis. So
You're always writing a piece about something off of the walls.
it's not even writing about obvious stuff. Anyway, what was your first impression of Francis when you first met him? How did it change?
Yeah, my first impression. I think what you get the first time is who he is truly. I don't ever think you get like a bad side of him, like just walking around the grounds or anything. I can even remember the first time I met him because I just feel like he's just been around forever, but he's always been the same person with as his career's grown, and obviously he made semis and he's gotten more fame, and I still think he's the player on tour with the most clout. Like every celebrity knows him, or he knows every celebrity, like and he's mentioned in rap, like 2 rap songs I think, so he's pretty iconic. So but I think that energy is like genuine, and he makes you love the sport even more just knowing his backstory and his history, but the fact he comes on tour and every single day he gives you that like personal like attention and genuine niceness and energy. I appreciate that from him a lot.
But I was going to ask, now that you've had a couple of years away from winning this tournament, as you reflect on that, how important was that for you in 23? And obviously you've had such success, but what has this meant to you here?
Yeah, I think it was super important because it gave me the belief that I could win a slam. Little did I know it'd be shortly after. I didn't think so when I did win it. I just thought it would happen eventually. But, you know, I was like searching for like a big title. I think I was 19, so I've been on tour for a long time, and people had that expectation. So for me, it meant a lot. And then obviously the way that I did it, beating Iga, who I hadn't beat before, and then Mukova, who was playing great tennis, I just felt like that was a great statement tournament, and led me to believe that I can beat top players.
Coco, coming off of the emotional high of winning in Paris, maybe not having a ton of time to slow down,
Yeah.
where you're finding the energy to be able to hit that nitro button.
Yeah, I think like I took a reset after Wimbledon and just took a few days off, similar to what Irina did, basically a week off, and I went and just literally turned my phone off and went 3 days in the Florida Springs and just connecting with nature and things like that, just to reset, because I felt after after French Open, I was in New York, and then I was home for like 2-3 days, and then like back practicing, trying to get ready for grass. And you know, I'm someone who does things like full throttle, so yeah, and I was very disappointed afterwards. And I think that's like, I was telling my my parents, like tennis is sometimes tough because you can just be in such a high moment, and then like 2 weeks later feel so like low. So I think yeah, I think for me it was a learning experience because I never had to experience getting ready for a slam that fast. So next time I think I'll approach it differently and hopefully have a better result.
Did you make any discoveries during the last week on
Yeah.
Not be giving you much trouble.
I hope so. I mean, I served well in my doubles final, except the one double on match point, but I hit a few aces. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's never been about finding it in practice. It's when it's in practice. So I think the more matches I can get under it, and the more I can feel confident in it, I think it will get better.
Is it a little different than what you were doing earlier?
Yeah, it is a little. It is a little bit different. Yes, it is.
Yeah, we know you are not a big fan of the late games, and we know this tournament is getting longer and longer. Like this year on for 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Do you think this is going to impact you as a player in terms of performance and also the well-being?
I mean, yes and no, because everybody's dealing with the same thing. So if it impacts, everybody's dealing with that impact. And I mean, I didn't do that well in Montreal as far as singles, so I don't feel like tired or anything. I am curious how the players who did well in Montreal, how they perform here, just because it is overlapping tournaments. If I had to put input, I do think, overlapping is just tough for all. Well, maybe not there, but for all players involved, even like on the doubles aspect, like next year, I mean, even though I won Montreal, I'm like thinking, should I play or not? Like, just because of the fact that I pushed really hard for that final to be on Wednesday, and I'm very grateful for the tournament to grant that, but that doesn't mean that's always going to happen. So yeah, I think it's an interesting topic with the overlapping tournaments. I think the 2-week tournaments are tough. I don't mind them as much, but it is tougher when they do overlap because the conditions, I haven't practiced yet, but I know from the past that the conditions are very different. So, we'll see how these 2 weeks go, and we'll see what they decide for next year and how this format if they'll be continued or not.
I think a high from Wimbledon was that dress.
Yeah.
It was like a killer dress that New
Thank
Balance
you.
did for you. You've been doing this custom look slowly now. Can we expect anything from US Open?
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, a custom look for US Open too. It's not as intricate as Wimbledon was. I was really proud to wear that, and unfortunate that I didn't get longer screen time in that. I wish I did better, but yeah, I think New Balance has done a great job of just collaborating with me and other designers. Not only did that dress was with another designer as well, and just really branching outside of the brand to make something that is special. So I'm super excited for US Open, and this week is Miu Miu. So this has been a great year. And I have not repeated an outfit. I don't know if anyone's noticed this year at any tournaments. I've worn a different outfit for every tournament, so that's something I'm really proud of. And I don't think it's been done. So it's been tough though for them. I don't know if it'll be repeated.
Darcy, last one. Coco, congrats on yesterday.
Thank you.
Can you just kind of walk us a little bit through then what the last 18, 24 hours have been like? How soon after you won the title were you on a plane?
Yeah, so we finished, I think I left the site around 5:30, and then we were on a flight at 8. And I mean, I'm lucky for me that I, like, financially as a player and able to, do that and get a plane, but, it's not common for all the other players that they're able to do that, which is why I think that it is tough with the scheduling, and there is no direct flight from or there is one at 6 p.m. each day. But when you're playing at 3, you're not going to make a 6 p.m. flight. So there's not that many direct flights from Montreal and Cincy. So I think that's where the thing can go for players who maybe can't really make that decision. But I was lucky that I was able to do that. And then I'm thankful that I could be here today.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Is that a fashion on Instagram if you have a different outfit for every tournament?
Yeah, I guess so.